Hey everyone, Matt here with Yard Sale Zombie, and today I'm going to make a quick video on running shoes and what kind of shoes that I sell, and I'll give you some of the prices that I pay and kind of tell you how much they've sold for, so you'll know how much you can possibly make from buying these kind of shoes. First, I'll tell you, if you don't know, I got started on eBay a couple of years ago, part-time, just going to yard sales and thrift stores on the weekends only while I was working, and I started to do that more and more on the weekends and then during the week, and eventually I realized I was making enough money that I could potentially quit if I quit my job if I did this full time. So over the past couple months, well, 2 months ago I quit, and now I'm doing this full time. So I've started with all kinds of different things. If you watch some of my videos, you'll see that I've done all kinds of different things, and I found the Goodwill outlets about probably a couple months ago. It was probably right after I quit, and I had been looking for dress shoes mainly because I learned a lot about dress shoes by watching Tino, the Sole Advisor, also on YouTube. T-I-N-O, Tino, and sole as in like the sole of a shoe, S-O-L-E. So if you want to learn a lot about shoes, this guy is like the expert. And I was looking at YouTube videos one night like I usually do, and I saw this guy talking about shoes, and I had never even thought of shoes. So I watched his videos, and I learned that you can make a lot of money on shoes, especially dress shoes, men's dress shoes, women's dress shoes, heels for women, all kinds of stuff. So I got really interested in that, and I started looking for shoes, and sure enough, I started making money. My best pair of shoes ever was a pair of Common Projects loafers that I found at a yard sale. I paid $5, and I sold those, I can't remember the exact price, but it was somewhere between $300 and $400. And if it hadn't been for me watching that video on YouTube about shoes that can sell, that Tino, his videos, I wouldn't have even looked at those shoes that day. I remember it clearly. It was pouring, and I ran into this lady's garage. She had a bunch of clothing and shoes, and I almost didn't want to go, but I remember that video, and I saw all these shoes on the ground, and they were like Prada, Common Projects. The only one I knew was Prada, but anyways, I got them all. And I really, just in those 6 pairs of shoes right there, I made over $700-800. And I was hooked. So it started with me going to stores and buying the dress shoes, which I still do, but I'm a runner, and my wife is a runner, and I know running shoes a little bit, so I was more comfortable with those. So recently I've kind of moved over to running shoes, and so that's what I'm going to talk about today. If you're interested in dress shoes or women's shoes, definitely check out Tino, the Sole Advisor. I don't really do that. I know the basics about what you can make money with and stuff when it comes to dress shoes, but today we're going to talk about athletic, hiking, running shoes. So as you can see, I've got quite an assortment here, and I guess we'll start with low-end shoes, and I'll kind of tell you what I paid for each pair of shoes, and we'll just kind of take it like that. Excuse me. So a low-end running shoe is going to be something like a Nike tennis shoe like this. That's kind of it's got the cheap foam on the bottom. It's very light. There's no model name on this also. So you pick this up, you can tell it's a Nike because it's got the swish. The first thing I usually do is look on the sides for numbers or a model number, and there's nothing on this. And next you're going to check the tag here. And there you go, Pegasus 29. So you could easily now just pick your phone up. That's what I do. I'm in the thrift store doing this. I do a open up the eBay app. So for anybody that hasn't used that, you just go into the search function, and then at the top you can just type whatever you want in eBay. So I'm gonna do Nike Pegasus, and then there's a bunch of numbers pop up, but I'm gonna go 29, and I'll put blue. Okay, and then a bunch of them come up, and I'll kind of look. It looks like one's pre-owned 39, 15, 22, 15, 40. Okay, then I'm gonna click filter it and see what they've actually sold for. And one sold for 5, 65, 48. So they're all over the place. But either way, this is a good shoe to buy based on those prices. It looks like the average is about 20. So I paid $2.50 for these, and then I came home and put them on eBay for $19.99. But that's a low-end shoe. Most likely it will sell for about 15. Somebody will make me a best offer and I'll sell it for 15. But I paid $2.50. Let's say I sell it for 15 bucks. A couple fees to eBay. That's an easy 10, 12 bucks. So that's a lower end shoe. These foam kind of shoes from Nike. There's a couple more different kinds, but I'm not going to go through those because there's a lot here. Asics can be lower end. They have some higher end models, but it's the same thing. Here's the Asics symbol. It's kind of like a Reebok symbol. Also on the tag is going to be the model of the shoe. So this is the GT2000. So you can easily just go in eBay, Asics GT2000, green, pink, and you're going to get your shoe. Price comes up. I would charge $19.99 for these, making the person pay for shipping. Each one of these shoes weighs about a pound, so I do the calculated shipping, 2 pounds, in a priority mail shoebox, which is free. So it's 15 by 8 by 5, 2 pounds, and it will calculate, whoever the buyer is, it will tell them what their shipping is going to be. Or it's usually, no matter where it goes, it's usually about $8 to $10. So if you could either raise your price from $19.99 to like $29.99 to do free shipping, or you could just do a flat shipping of like $8.99, and that would probably cover everything. So there's a few different ways to do it, but I like to have the calculated shipping. Sometimes I do like the $8.99. So that's a mid-range, low-range shoe. Moving up a little bit to a better shoe is going to be something like a New Balance. And I buy a lot of New Balance. They sell really well. When you're looking at running shoes, you definitely want to check. These edges here are key for holes, and up here, and then also like the rubber. So the first thing I always do when I pick up a shoe is I look to make sure there's no holes in the mesh. And this one looks pretty good. You know, it looks pretty good all the way around. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is look at the cleanliness. How much is it going to be for me to clean this and make it look good? This shoe right here looks pretty good. Next, I'll turn it over and I'll look at the treads. And what you're looking for are wear spots. Now, overall, this shoe looks pretty good, but there is a spot in here that's got wear. And it's right here where the heel pads, the toe pad strikes. And so it's really not that big of a deal. You can see the tread's not very deep anyway, and that's why I bought them. I would definitely highlight that in the ad. The next most important thing, I mean, everything else is checked out. It looks pretty good, but you have to check the size, because a lot of times these little plastic or vinyl shoe size things wear down and you can't tell what size it is. And many times, it took me 3 or 4 times before I learned, but you need to check that in the store, because if you get home and you don't know what size it is, how can you sell it? Some people will pull the foot sole out and measure that, but that's not always accurate. So definitely check for the size before you bring it home. I paid $2.50 for these at the outlet, and I will get about 15 probably. Here's another New Balance, a little more. This is a little more expensive New Balance, and you can see the difference. It's just a little higher end. And with New Balance, they all have like a number. This one's a Fresh Foam 980. I think this one here is about $30 or $40. Again, the size, you can see on this one, the size was actually really worn down, but on the other one, I was just able to make it out. So this one's going up for, I think I'm going to do $39.99, and then I'd definitely take 20 or 30 bucks easily. Try to move this along. Here's a men's New Balance that I don't usually buy. This is like a hiking shoe, but this one was in really good condition. Size 12. I'll definitely have to do some cleaning here, and Tino does a really good video on how to clean the shoes. I don't have my cleaning solution here right now, but you basically just buy this cleaning solution off Amazon or wherever and wipe down all the sides, make it look good. I don't do much about the bottom unless there's a price tag. I would definitely get rid of a price tag. So that's about it. Now we're gonna even keep moving up the ladder. Oh, here's another New Balance that goes for about $30. And on this one, you would see that this is the 775. So you could just do New Balance 775. Moving up, another New Balance there. Also a good brand. Let's see here. Coach shoes. These are definitely not running shoes, but I thought I may be able to get 15, 20 bucks out of these. But you can see overall they're in pretty good shape. Soles look good. No big staining or tears or anything, so I grabbed those today. Here's a really good pair of actual running shoes, and I actually wear Mizunos when I run. These are Mizunos, and here's their symbol. And these are Wave Riders. This is the exact same shoe that I wear and I have on. Actually, I don't have them on now, but brand new, these shoes cost about $130, $120. So if you like Wave Riders and you run a lot, you're logging miles, you're wearing these down, you might want to try to find a cheap way to buy sneakers, and that's what I guess people are doing because we sell. So these are women's Mizunos that will sell for about 30, 40 bucks. Another really good pair of running shoes are Newtons. And with Newtons, these are Gravity. They have different numbers, so this is a Gravity 5, I think. What you want to do with Newtons is check the soles, and these ones are actually a little more worn down than I like because this is supposed to have like a little grid pattern on it. I don't think I have another pair here yet right now. Here's one. I don't know if you can see the difference. There's a grid pattern here on these pads and not on that one, which is fine. You know, they're not completely worn down, but you definitely want to highlight that because that's very important to runners. That's how is it worn down. This one was worn down a little more on the front than on the bottom, so that's something you want to highlight, but overall they're in very good shape. Nike Air Maxes can bring you a lot of money. It's not really, I don't consider it a running shoe, but a lot of people do. And they'll always have Air Max somewhere on it. Not all Nikes are Air Max, but they usually have these little cushions, clear cushions on the side, and they usually have like something like a support in the back with mesh on the front. But people love these, especially women. They sell really well with women. The purples and the pinks, you can make a lot of money. And not really running, but like trail hiking and everything, a really good brand to look out for is Keen. K-E-E-N. Right here. This is a Keen hiking boot, and I paid $250 for this, and I've sold Keens for anywhere from $40 to $50. People really love these. Another really good Keen seller is this kind of sandal here. It's like a waterproof kind of hiking sandal, and it's got like a little drawstring here, but that's also a Keen product, and definitely want to keep an eye out for these. These things sell really good, but don't overpay. Try to not pay more than $5 on any pair of shoes you're buying because sometimes they don't sell. If you see all the shoes I have up there, they're just sitting there. Eventually they'll sell. With these sandals, it's very important to check for the size before you go because the size is on like almost like a little sticker here, and a lot of times they fall off or they wear down. You can see that one's in really rough shape. And I have bought these before and brought them home, and then I'm not really sure what size it is, and I don't want to sell it. Maybe it's a size 7. Give me your money. Horrible. So that's about it. The one pair of shoes that I kind of took a gamble on today is these. It's a pair of Pradas. There it says Prada on the tongue, and then they also have it in the middle there, but it usually says it on this red piece here. But this one's worn down. You can see the P and the R. But I saw these in the bins today when I went over there. It's got like a purple patent leather, and pre-owned, I think a pair of these sold for like $199, but they were in great condition. This one's got some damage and it needs to be cleaned, but definitely going to give these a shot. I paid $2.50, so even if I could get 50 or 60 bucks, that would be great. You can see there's some marks down here, like where it tore a little bit. There's some wear inside the heel. There's wear on the shoe, so I don't really know how good this is going to come out, but I'm going to clean it up and we're going to see what happens. Hopefully I can make some money. One more type of running shoe that I like to buy, these spikes for running on tracks. They're very, very light. There's a place for the little metal spikes, and on the back some hard plastic there, so keep an eye out for these. So that's about it. I'm not going to bore you too much, but if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, real quick, another brand you want to look for is Brooks. This one's really dirty, but I got it for like $1. Brooks running shoes sell really well. Just make sure that the shoes that you're selling are clean and they're in good condition. The soles aren't broken or really worn down like skis. You know what I mean? You want to have some tread on there. And yeah, definitely you can make a lot of money with shoes. If you pay $2.50 to $5 a pair, you can easily turn around and sell them for $15, $20, $30, $40, depending on what level you're at. You know, you're going to find these Asics and New Balance everywhere. So it's very important not to just grab any pair you find, but find a really good pair. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll write back. Thanks.